Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Think Future. My name's Chris Kalaboukis, and once again, we're coming at you live from deep in the heart of Silicon Valley, California. We're talking innovation, startups, the future. Not necessarily those, and not necessarily in that order. If you're watching on YouTube, smack that subscribe button and hit that bell so we can be notified when a new show comes online. And if you're listening on your favorite podcast service, please subscribe and please drop a note on Apple Podcast. I'd greatly appreciate it. Now let me ask you something. When you've had an incredible success in your life, the last time you've had an incredible success in your life, something really good happened. Really good happened. Maybe you got a contract, maybe you met the love of your life, who knows? Something really good happened. Why do you think that happened? Why do you think that happened? Let's talk about serendipity for a little bit. So serendipity was a term that was coined, I forget when, but it had something to do with the Knights of Serendip from the 1001 Nights. Or 1001 Arabian Nights. And the term was coined to indicate a happy accident, a positive accident, something that was accidental that ended up being a lucky accident, or the outcome of the accident was a good thing. Serendipity. So, I mean, a lot of you are familiar with the term. I remember I first heard the term when I was a kid. I was watching Doctor Who. I think they mentioned it in Doctor Who. And I'm like, serendipity, I love that word. It's a cool word. But then when I got deeper into it and I realized what it meant, I thought, yeah, serendipity. It's super important when it comes to luck and discovering new things. Serendipity is a happy accident. And if you think about it, if you look back on almost everything good that has happened in your life, in your business, every positive thing that has occurred in your life, or at least many of the positive things that have occurred in your life, you could probably go back and chalk them up to serendipity, that something happened. There was a juxtaposition of events, or there was a coordination of events that was not particularly controlled by anyone. Maybe you were in the right place at the right time and you met the right person, and then all of a sudden things fell into place. Serendipity occurred. And then when this serendipity occurred, it went on and became the positive thing that happened. Look back on all of the positive things that has happened in your life, in your business, and tell me that they didn't occur due to some kind of serendipity. Tell me that it wasn't serendipity that caused you to get that contract. Tell me that it wasn't serendipity that you happened to be working at a startup and then you met somebody while working at the startup who eventually gave you your next 5, 6, 7 jobs because they liked the way you worked and brought you into the next company that they worked in. Tell me that serendipity didn't play a role in many of the positive things that have happened in your life and in your business. So you're probably thinking to yourself, well, what you're saying, Chris, is that everything's luck. There just happens to be lucky things happening. And when these lucky things happen to juxtapose and happen together, they create serendipity. It's an accident. It's accidental. It wasn't something that you expected to happen. It was just something that happened because this preponderance of things all came together at the same time. They just happened to do that. Well, I got to say one thing, is that these things don't necessarily happen just because of luck. These things happen because you are open to the possibility that they happen. I mean, you've heard of that famous experiment where they take a bunch of people and they send them across campus to complete a task, but then they litter the path with $20 bills, and they see how many people actually stopped to pick up the bill and how many people just went barreling right past the bill. Or that other famous experiment where they said, count the number of photos in this newspaper, and there was an actual huge ad which said there are 28 photos in this newspaper, stop counting now. And so many people just passed over it because their minds weren't open to the possibility that there was something in the newspaper that actually gave you the answer. So many times serendipity occurs because they are truly accidents. We haven't done anything and things fall into our lap so obviously that serendipity occurs. But you can actually make serendipity happen more often. You can actually engineer serendipity to happen more often. And you engineer serendipity by being more open to opportunities, by being more observant, by placing yourself physically and mentally in new places, doing new things. Like, for example, let's say you read a lot of science fiction. So you read a lot of science fiction, but you're stuck in that science fiction space. You don't read or listen to anything else because you may read a fiction novel or a historical autobiography that triggers new innovation in your head, but you're staying away from it because you haven't opened yourself to those opportunities. That's one of the things I do all the time. I'm a terror when I go to used bookstores because I buy all sorts of things that I've never seen before. Things that just pique my curiosity. Things I just stumble across. New spaces. New areas that I've never read anything in before, looking for that spark of serendipity that will create something new. That unconscious juxtaposition that you can't expect people to have if they're just doing the same thing over and over, day in, day out. You need to physically be in different places. You need to mentally be in different places. You need to read new things. You need to get outside of your feed, because your feed is just going to give you the same thing that you always wanted over and over and over again, just to the nth degree. To create serendipity, to create creativity, to create the good luck that you get out of it, you need to look at the opportunity. You need to open yourself up to opportunity and then get yourself out there and experience new things. Once you are open to the opportunity and you've experienced new things, or you've put yourself in a position to experience new things, then serendipity will come. It's only a matter of time. Once the serendipity comes, embrace it, extend it, and make it happen. That's it for me for today. See you next time, and until then, don't forget to think future.